I just did all that.
It's 7 o'clock, go ahead and call the meeting to order. So welcome all. When you get your seat, can we start with the roll call?
Absolutely. Okay, Noreen Friedrich is absent tonight. Adam Hempkin.
Here.
Andre Corey is absent. Kelly Moyer. Here. Greg Meyer.
Here.
Lisa Schumacher.
Here.
Tyson Search.
Here. Perfect, we have a quorum. Everybody stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We've got a good crowd tonight. Welcome everyone for joining us this evening. Do you have any public comments? Wide open mic. Anybody want to say the piece on it? Okay, no, move along to correspondence. Any correspondence? No correspondence, no public comments. Let's go right into our consent agenda. Mr. Crowe, if you could walk us through that, please.
All right, well, you've got the minutes and all the financials. We've got two resignations that they declared retirement in the next 4 years. Jenna Stewart and Ralph Ryan are both resigning. Missy Steve has put in her declaration she will retire at the end of the 27-28 school year. We've got her support personnel, Jennifer Henninger. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to be the middle school library aide. Crystal Nolte, Eagle View Park library aide. Sarah Goff as the paraprofessional. I'm adding Laura McWilliams. She's going to be a 5-hour cook at the middle school. We've got a certified personnel, Elizabeth Wilson, middle school, high school business teacher. And I've got an add on the extracurricular assignments. Duncan Van Brusen is going to be the 8th grade assistant baseball coach. Given all of that, we've got one vacancy still declared, and that's maintenance. We also have custodial interview, a high school custodian that's outstanding, and then there's always the beginning of the year Eagle Zone hires. So with that said, administration recommends the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Perfect. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Make the motion.
Thank you, Tyson. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Adam. Roll call, please.
Adam Hempkin.
Yes.
Kelly Moyer.
Yes.
Greg Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Search.
Yes.
Perfect. Motion carries. And actually, I'd be remiss, I'm going to rearrange our agenda just a tad here and welcome Amanda to our school. She's our new assistant superintendent and very well qualified, and we're excited to have her on board. And
Thank you
I
very
forgot to
much.
welcome you the first of the meeting. I'm so sorry.
You know what? It is okay. It has been an amazing start. I met a lot of really great people and been welcomed beyond measure, so I'm very thankful to be here.
Awesome.
So thank you.
It's just a testament to how well she fits in because she just was part of the deal and we just went right on. So sure, so welcome Amanda.
Thank you.
All right, back to the regular scheduled program here. We'll go on to our communications, reports and presentations.
Yeah, we've got foreign language trips. I believe we're starting with Germany.
Yeah, give me just a second here to get some things pulled up on my side. Do you want to go first, actually?
Oh,
That would
yeah.
help, if that's okay.
Yes, no, that's fine.
That
I'm
would
just
help me
gonna
out a
go
ton.
through, if that's okay. All right, so now I have the SLU trip.
Hello, my name is Alicia Arnold. I'm one of the Spanish teachers at the high school. I'm here tonight with 2 students who participated in our program, Sage Laxton, she just graduated, and Lily Arnold is a rising junior and my daughter. So I would like to just say a few words and then turn it over to Sage and then Lily. So first of all, thank you so much for approving our SLU Madrid trip. We had an amazing educational time. All 16 students really wowed the SLU staff at the Madrid campus. In fact, our coordinator, Hamish Binns, who is a professor there and teaches English as a second language in Madrid, said that he wishes that his college students had the level of Spanish that our students have. He said he was so impressed, so I'm very proud of them. Sage?
Yeah, I believe that it was very educational. I learned a lot about the culture and the language, especially like the customs that you don't really see here in the US. It was a lot different culturally than the US. I think that like the food, the language, even like the road systems, it was all so different, and I had an amazing time just looking at everything and taking it in, and it's something that I'm definitely gonna remember for years to come.
I think we had a really diverse opportunity because we got to see a soccer museum and some historical stuff, and I think it really appealed to everyone's interests, and I got to learn all that stuff, go out of my comfort zone a little bit, just speaking Spanish in the wild, as we kind of say, and it was a really cool opportunity for us.
So in this first picture, you can see some of the students at the SLU Madrid campus, and how this really all came about is Rebecca Bayhan and I were working the middle school concession stand for one of the theater productions, and she said, "Are you Alicia Arnold, the high school Spanish teacher? I'm Rebecca Bayhan. I'm the director of the international department at SLU. And you do those SLU 1818 classes for the dual credit, right?" And she said, "I have an idea. Can we bring these two things together?" So these two young ladies have earned college credit through St. Louis University along with Taylor students, and we also offer English and calculus. But then here we are at SLU Madrid campus. So this was a real collaboration with Columbia High School and St. Louis University. Down below, we are in downtown at Plaza Mayor. We took classes with Spanish professors. That's Julio, one of our favorites, right? We took a flamenco dance class. Taylor, if you could go to the next slide. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Thank
fine.
you. We did some shopping. Look, there's me and Sage, all smiles. We love the shopping. We learned to make paella there in the center, and then center down below, there's Lily. Before we made the paella, we went to a market, and the students had to ask for the different ingredients. Not only are they speaking Spanish, but we're also thinking kilos, we're thinking euros. Upper right-hand corner are all 16 participants. We had about 40 students apply for this program. So there was a lot of interest, and we selected the cream of the crop, and they really represented us well. Down below it says El Faro. We stayed in a student residence hall that was about 10 minutes from campus. So when we had class, we walked to campus. Next slide, please. We took 2 day trips. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see we went to Segovia. And then the next slide over, we went to Toledo. There in the center is Noah Boyer Edwards celebrating his 18th birthday with a castle in the background. Not bad, huh? Far right there's Sage. She really took advantage of every situation. She didn't know I was taking this picture, but she went up to Professor Julio after class and asked questions. Mind you, all the classes, all of the tours, all of the communication was all in Spanish. There's a little bit more of us dancing there. And then in the center at the bottom is El Retiro Park in Madrid, and the students went rowboating. That was slide 3, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
So this is the 4th trip I've ever taken with Columbia students, but this was by far the most culturally rich. I'm sure Reagan came home saying she had a great time. Reagan Search participated as well. And I've already had a meeting at the SLU 1818 department. They are wanting to know if I would be willing to go again next summer and take a smaller group of Columbia students and help kind of branch this out to other schools in the Metro East. So I might be coming to you in the fall with a proposal, and we'll go from there. But thank you so much for your support. It's really wonderful to see our students shine and put to use what we learn in the classroom, not only in high school, but also starting at the middle school with our 7th and 8th grade Spanish all the way through. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
for doing it.
Yeah, I'm ready. Sorry about that. I was trying to get myself settled here. My first
Okay.
meeting back since going on our trip. So for the record, my name's Taylor Nickerson. I teach German here at the Columbia School District. I'm going to stay here because we have to sort of coordinate the slides for here in the room and then on the live stream as well. So hope you don't mind if I just stay here. So this summer we took our group of students on our exchange trip to Gaydon, which is Columbia's sister city. This was the 31st anniversary, or 31st year of our student exchange, our 15th trip to Gaydon. I want to start by recognizing the students, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. So the students have participated, which you can see. I'm just switching the slide on my end. Alina St. Clair, Kale Clark, Carson Kalbfleisch, Casey Barnard, Ella Fromey, Hannah Novak, Jack Reuter, Jonah Stogstill, Liliana Eames, Taku Nolte, and Jordan Holton. The reason I really want to highlight the students and say their names for the record, they were a fantastic group of students. We got no reports of anything throughout the 3 weeks that we were there. And they go through a pretty extensive application process, and I know that they're going to be good students, but sometimes you get where the host and the guest may not get along, or 2 weeks in, it's coming out that there's some tension between. We got nothing, like no reports of anything. The kids went to school each day. The teachers didn't say, they said positive things, but they didn't say anything about the students. They came to all the field trips, no behavior issues. So I hope people in the community are listening and watching and heard those names, because they were really, it was a great group of students. So it was a fun group to take. So I'll just kind of summarize sort of what we did, because we were there for 3 weeks, so we did a lot. 80 to 85 to 90% of our exchange it's a school exchange. So the students go to school each day with their host. So from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. we're in school. The students make presentations about life in Columbia and life in the U.S. In German. And they give those, once we get there, the teachers sign up for those presentations to be given in their classes in Germany. So the students spend a lot of time doing that. They also build their own school schedule. They did that throughout the year here before we left. And so they're visiting classes. They don't have to participate as far as like homework and tests and stuff, but they observe and they watch what goes on in the German school. We do some sightseeing trips around the region, but it's not necessarily a sightseeing trip. It's a homestay. It's a student exchange. So we did a Rhine River cruise that's up there in the top left. We went into half a mile underground through a sort of a salt mine experience. That's there at the bottom. We can probably go to the next slide here. Some more views of our river cruise there on the top left. The bottom left was a pretty neat event. We went to the U.S. Army base in Wiesbaden. They had an event commemorating the 75th anniversary of the Berlin airlift, which the U.S. Army was heavily involved in. And essentially, if you don't know what that is, in a nutshell, there was a Soviet blockade where people in West Berlin literally could not get basic necessities, right? We're talking food, fuel, things like that to live. And so the U.S. Army literally dropped these things from airplanes over Berlin. So they had all the old aircraft there. They had booths set up on the airfield, which was cool to see. We went there on what they called the Education Day. There was almost 3,000 students there that day. So it was a neat event. There at the top right, we went to, it's called Point Alpha. Point Alpha is a former U.S. Army observation post on the former East-West German border. So during the Cold War, when they thought that there was going to be an attack from the East, from the Soviets, the U.S. Army helped with surveillance to basically see if anybody was going to try to attack the West. That's a piece of the Berlin Wall. And then you've got the flags in the background. The bottom, that's a bridge in Frankfurt with the group in front. And you can see all the locks locked on. People go there to lock on locks, which is something that people do on bridges. We can go to the next one. What do we got on the next one here? Some more views from some of our river cruises. You see Ella and Jordan there on the left. You see Hannah, Alina, Casey there in the top right, Jordan, Ella, and then one of the German hosts there in the bottom right. And I think that's all of my slides from Germany. So again, this is our 31st year. We were there from June 7th to the 30th, and they will be back here for our 32nd year. That will be in March and April of 2025.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a fun trip. It was a good time.
Congrats.
And thanks for letting us share, both of us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing it.
My turn?
Your turn.
All right. I just wanted to share that this Monday and Tuesday will be the new teacher induction. We are all set up and ready to rock and roll. I've sent out reminders to both mentors and mentees, and I shared with them as they are learning, I will be learning with them, so we are excited to start that and kick that off on Monday. New staff is set to attend the August 8th board meeting. They will be getting invitations on Monday, as you have yours in your staff tonight, just to keep you updated on that. Any questions with the teacher induction? I did want to share that I have kind of dove in. I'm learning the new Ag Bio class that will be offered at the high school this year. So I attended the first mandatory meeting with the Ag teachers on July 16th, and it is exciting. I'm excited to be part of that process. I'm going to be working with Mr. Reeves, so he knows with evaluations and whatnot what we're looking for in the classroom, and it's going to be a partnership. So very excited about that class and what it has to offer and being a part of it. The other thing I wanted to share, which I am excited about, I had the opportunity in June to visit San Antonio. Very hot in Texas, I did learn that. But the Air Force, I have networked with Scott Air Force Base, the educational liaison, and she asked if I would attend the Air Force educator tour in June, which I did. She also can help school districts get STEM grants for different curriculum ideas in the classroom. So I am going to continue that partnership, and I learned a vast amount attending this trip, and I got to network with other leaders and school counselors across the country, which was really exciting. I have a better understanding of what the Air Force has to offer students in their post-secondary transition from high school, which I didn't have prior. So again, I was very excited to go through this. I was also asked to possibly be one of the honorary commanders, which is a 2-year program, which means I would connect with those Scott Air Force Base leaders to develop a connection and to help with us and the knowledge that we have here with our high schoolers. So I was excited about that. Any questions about that? That's all I have.
That's exciting.
It is hot there in August.
What?
It is hot there in the summer.
Oh my goodness, it's so hot. I definitely learned that first and foremost.
On to our superintendent report.
I just want to say Dr. Gainey has hit the ground running. She's getting up to speed, and it's just been good to have you here for
Thank
this
you very much.
less than a month, but
Thank
it's been
you.
going very well. Tomorrow, the website's going to open, and you're going to see a construction page. If we can go to the first page there, this is one of the presentations that will be on the website. Go to the next one.
Okay.
And it kind of goes through the initial thoughts. And when we started looking at the buildings, we looked at, secure vestibule, Parkview and Eagle View. Parkview and middle school both got windows added so that people don't wander through the building to get to the office. And so now Eagle View, Parkview, and the middle school all have windows so that people don't have to come into the school. High school still didn't. Crowded, Eagle View, Parkview, yes. Middle school, not so much, other than the fact that everybody wants to store their stuff there in the extra classrooms. High school, yes, crowded, so 3 of the 4 were crowded. Currently meets the academic needs. Eagle View's got some concerns just with where do we put classes when we're trying to keep the class sizes down and whatnot. Parkview, they meet the needs here. We did have to move Kurt, Steve, and Laura Glowacki, our food service coordinator, and our maintenance custodial person over to the middle school to open up 2 classrooms here, but again, there's more rooms here that we can open up for that. Middle school, like I said, has got room. High school, it has a list of issues, no auditorium, bathrooms, electrical, ADA. So those were kind of the big thoughts. We also had the other factors, you know, the 40 acres in St. Clair County, the transportation in Eagle View. And as we thought through that, we then refined our ideas. Refinement of the initial thought, we said we'll address the high school, and that's the project that's currently underway. And then we'll utilize our county's facility sales tax to start nipping away at other projects. I will say that Eagle View got new mulch and sod and the drains fixed. Kurt Steve and his merry men fixed the drains, put in sod, and the incredible amounts of rain we've gotten this year. I went there the next day and the sod would have been able to be played on by the children. So large swatch of area that was just always a puddle and the kids could never play on is now grass. And so they're gonna be able to play on that. And so we've got little projects that we're doing at all the buildings, but really the high school is the big one. So let's go to the next page. Yeah, that's the conceptual rendering of what we are planning to build in the front. The left-hand side is the office entryway, and you would go into a vestibule, and you can either go into the office or not. The kids will walk straight in, you know, it'll be one of those vestibule things, but that'll be a secured entranceway. The entrance over on the right would get you into the auditorium. The goal here is that when this is all done, when you go to see a play at the school, you won't be able to wander around the school. You'll go in the auditorium and out of the auditorium, and access to the rest of the building is denied. Same with the gymnasium, which is going to be on the back of the building. It'll have its own entrance, and you won't be able to just wander around the buildings. Right now, when you come to see one of our basketball games, you can wander around the school kind of haphazardly. It's just not the best situation. So that's the conceptual rendering of the front. You want to go to the next? Yeah. And so what that's going to be is the office area, some classroom, hallway, and that auditorium. The big classrooms on the right are going to be a band room and choir room, and the shaded area will one day become green rooms and dressing rooms and things of that nature, but the auditorium arts is all there. Next slide is the second floor, which is going to be updated science labs. Our science labs have not been updated for a while, so these will be labs with the hoods and all the science equipment that you need, and the ag, bio class is going to be up there. But that'll be a science wing then. That's phase one. Phase two then puts on this gymnasium on the backside, and if you can see the slanted wall over to the right-hand side for me, I don't know if that's on the video, but that's going to be the entrance for the gymnasium. You would come in there, there's bathrooms, concession stands, and the little square on the bottom is the locker rooms, and that is a tornado shelter. So it'll be a storm shelter that all the kids can fit into. Next slide is the second floor of that. There'll be a mezzanine up on top over the locker rooms so that we could add some more bleachers there, or we could have batting cages, or things of anything that we want. And so that's the phase two. Phase three then deals with the inside. The old office becomes a library and a life skills classroom. Some remodeling in the commons area where everybody eats, the hallway, and there will be an elevator, that little square at the end of that hall, because that wing is not ADA accessible on the top. And so that is phase three. Next page is the upstairs. Same thing. Then next one is the important one. This is the one where I'm really looking for community help. When you come to our school, we are asking, and there's a lot of people that try to drop off their middle schooler and then cut through the high school to get to Parkview nice and easily. There's also people that will drop off at the middle school and then cut through and drop off at the high school. We are asking all parent drop-offs and pickups at the high school to come in and off on 3. It's the red line with the red X over on the left side of that building. If you are parking as a student, you drive in, you go to your parking spots that are on the bottom, the lower lots they call them. They will walk along the side, there'll be a sidewalk there, a walkway for them, and they will go in at the end of that short wing. If you're parked over by the gymnasium area or up in the new parking lot for the, in the park, You will come down and you will go in through what we are calling right now our main entrance, which is the black X. And buses will go in and out through the back of the building. We believe that this is going to be probably the best plan. Traffic at the high school has never been wonderful. Keeping the drop-off and pickups the same, it seems to work, it should still work. Making sure the kids park and go in the right place. The big thing's gonna be people trying to cut the middle school line by not following the stuff that we're doing. If everybody does whatever they wanna do, we're gonna have some issues. And so we are just asking that people follow these rules. Questions, concerns, comments on any of this? You look like you're thinking something, Mr. Serge.
Can't wait to see the chaos.
Right. How is this getting relayed to the public?
The website's opening and we're going to turn this into a PDF and email it out when we get closer to the start of the school.
Is there going to be anybody directing
Yes.
traffic for all the people who don't read the emails and don't go to the website?
Yes, and for those that do and still want to do what they want to do.
Right, so is there going to be,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And whenever we have openings, so right now, Mr. Reeves, whenever we open up school in the day or have dismissal, we man the doors. And so all the doors will be manned. But yeah, there'll be people outside, and I'm sure that first couple of weeks I'll be out there, my little whistle and,
Kids can still walk over there if they're riding with the high school.
yes. Yeah, I would not see any problems with that, but,
Are you only relaying information through the website? Just thinking more about a town hall.
we were talking about that in the first of August, right? When we get closer to the school year, is have a kind of an opening and whatnot. I'm more excited about once the project's underway and we have the ribbon cutting, we can go inside and explore it, but that's not for a while. But yeah, town hall would not be a bad idea, but we are gonna send this PDF out to all the middle school and high school parents with kind of a letter that states the importance of this. All right. And our next board meeting is August 8th, which is the second Thursday, not the third Thursday, because we moved it up 1 week. I had forgotten that we did that last year and that it worked so well. And so,
Yeah, otherwise it would have been the first day of school, right?
yes, of kids. And so what we want to do is try and get it before that. All right, and that's it for my superintendent's report.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, moving to items for action. We got a pretty good laundry list this evening, so we'll jump right in. First item is A, the approval of the resolution providing for the issue of sale of approximately $14 million of debt certificates to alter, repair, and equip school buildings and facilities, including building in addition to the Columbia High School building.
Yeah, and so I just want to stress one thing, like a couple of things. One, we're able to sell these bonds and finance the project that I just showed you while keeping the bond and interest rate flat, not increasing the taxes there, and that is a wonderful thing. And we do that with the expert advice from Ann Noble and the other people at Stiefel. So,
So we are recommending that you proceed with the financing for this great project in increments because you can't spend it all at once. It's going to take some time. You're working around students, right? So there's no point in paying interest expense on money that you don't need right away. Even though you can earn right now, but we're not going to accumulate taxes for taxpayers until you actually need the money. So we're splitting it into increments. Last year you sold 10 million. This is going to bring you another 14.5 million-ish of project funds, and then we'll do it again next year, and then again the following year. We're going to do it in 4 stages, spread it out. And these financings work in a 2-step process where this is basically a bridge loan. What you're approving tonight is a bridge loan to long-term financing. So I will be back to you very soon with the next step to put the permanent financing in place. And we have to do it this way for Illinois legal reasons, which I will be happy to walk you through if you want to hear it. But it is the only way we can get you the funds that you need and follow Illinois law. So we put the bridge loan in place. It's literally in place for 90 to 100-ish days while we do the legal process for the long-term financing. And then these will go away and these will be replaced with bonds. These are debt certificates. We're going to, in the end, sell bonds, and that's what will be the long-term funding that will show up in your audit and you'll be paying over time. So this financing closes on August 7th. Next one will close by the end of the calendar year, and it will take out these. These will go away, and you'll just have those. So
the resolution that Mr. Myers read says approximately 14 million. Should we have that say 14,500,000?
it should be 14,500. Yes.
Okay.
I noticed that when I was looking.
I know that they gave us, we got the stack of papers today because they've been working on the details.
Yep.
So the sale of 14,500,000.
That is correct. And Mr. Grody has the stack of legal documents from the law firm that'll finalize everything. Again, it's short-term financing, but we still gotta go through all the stuff. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll do it again 3 months for the permanent financing. So, we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Steve Full? I'd like to think, actually, this is all possible. The board, when the interest rates plummeted, we had a different bonding company, and we interviewed a bunch. Steve Full was by far our number one choice. They came in, we refinanced all these bonds. We were able to get us in a much better financial position to do this now. So thank you for the work that you've done, and they continue to be a good counselor for us and advise us on what we can and can't do. And our primary goal, is mine anyway, is keep the tax rate flat and not burden the taxpayers anymore. So thank you for allowing us to do that.
Still in a market that arbitrages?
It is. I mean, we're a little bit playing the market right now. The rates aren't as low as they were when we refinanced a few years ago, unfortunately. But boy, did you get a sweet deal then. So we took it and ran. But the timing of this transaction, I'm hoping, will allow us to take advantage of. I hope the Fed will actually cut rates in September. It won't be a big cut, but every little bit helps when you're putting financing in place for 20 years. But yes, right now you can still earn what we call arbitrage, which is basically a higher interest rate than what you're paying on the bonds. So allows you to create some extra project funds for the district. And that is part of the strategy of breaking it up into these pieces, because we have to keep the pieces at 15 million or less in order to keep that arbitrage. So that's also part of the consideration of splitting it up. It's a little bit dollar cost averaging too. Your business teacher left, but you know, every business teacher likes that strategy too. So.
And if I don't mean to step on your toes, but if I can clarify what she said, is we can borrow money, we can invest the money at a higher interest rate than we're borrowing money, so we can keep that in interest income for the difference, correct?
Exactly right.
All right, so we just need to make a motion to borrow a whole bunch of money.
If you would read the whole thing, we need to have that.
So we want to read the whole thing.
With the 14,500,000.
The corrected amount. Who wants to borrow money? We give it a lively credit.
So read the approval statement?
Yes.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution providing for the issue and sale of approximately $14,500,000 of debt certificates to alter, repair, and equip school buildings and facilities, including building in addition to the Columbia High School building.
Excellent. We have a great motion on the table. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search.
Yes.
All right, unanimous carries. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Guys, have a good.
We're off and rolling. Thank you. All right, item B is the approval of the FFES contract for vision services.
Gene Gocher, our special ed director, has been looking for vision services for our students. those are hard to find because we don't have enough students that need services to really be a full-time person. It's really more of a half-day person to a day person. We were planning to contract out from a neighboring school district, but their needs became so much that they could no longer contract out to us. So Gene went around and looked at a lot of things. This is a gentleman that does this via the internet. We both were kind of going, vision support through online. He has worked with Perando and other schools. They seem to say it works pretty well. We have a 30-day, this isn't working for us clause to get out, should it not be. Marnie has looked at the contract. And so the recommendation is to approve this because an online service is better than no service. And we can get out of it if we don't like it.
What is the get out period?
30 days.
30. Perfect.
How
Questions?
does it compare cost-wise?
I honestly don't know.
And we only have one student now?
I believe so. I know we don't have somebody that could really fund a full-time position, so.
Any other questions? Maybe like to make a motion to approve the FFES contract for vision services.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Perfect. All right, we have a motion. Tyson, second, sir. All right, roll call, please.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Craig Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Hempkin.
Yes.
Our next item is approval for the chemicals for the food service bid.
This is one of those yearly action items so that we can have chemicals, bags and papers from Imperial. Imperial put in the lowest bid, they put in the only bid, we've been using them for a while. The recommendation is that we stay with them.
Any questions? Maybe like to make a motion to approve the chemical bid.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Lisa. Second.
I'll second.
Kelly, roll call, please.
Craig Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer.
Yes.
There's chemicals, there's fuel, so next is the approval of the fuel bid.
Yep, and this would be for our buses. R&M was the only received bid. It's in line with what we've been paying them this last year, and so the recommendation is that we stay with R&M for this year.
Actually, I thought it was a very good bid, actually. Any
They've been pretty
questions?
good to us. You get concerned when you only get one bidder, but it's been fair.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the fuel bid.
I'll make it. Go ahead.
Tyson made the motion.
Yeah.
Second?
I'll
Lisa?
second.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Craig Meyer.
Yes. All right, moving on to letter E is the approval of the safety hazard school safety busing area.
Yes, and this is that yearly thing that we do as well that allows a child that lives within 1.5 miles of a school to actually ride the bus because we don't want them crossing Main Street, or we don't want them crossing Veterans, or we don't want them crossing Route 3. We're declaring some of the perimeters of our buildings to be unsafe for walkers. With that, we'll be able to put them on a bus and get reimbursed. So the recommendation is that the board approve the safety hazard school safety busing area as presented.
All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, maybe you'd like to make a motion to approve the safety hazard school safety busing area. It's a mouthful.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Kelly. Second?
I'll second.
Tyson seconds. Roll call, please.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Craig Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search.
Yes.
All right, next is going to deal with some health, life, safety amendments. The first one being the CHS fire sprinklers.
Yeah, the next three items are really gonna be the same conceptual thing, and that is, we've got money in the Health Life Safety Fund. If we can get these items approved, first through you and then through the state, we can use the health, life, safety funds instead of using the construction money for it, and that'll open up the construction money to do other things or whatnot. So this one would be for the fire sprinkler system in the hallway that is currently there. That coloring of the hallway in phase 3 that you saw would be the fire sprinkler system that would do that wing. Administration recommends the board approve the health, life, safety amendment for the high school fire sprinklers. I will then put this date in that you approved it, submit it, and it'll go through the ROE and the state board.
Questions, comments? Would anybody like to make a motion to, I'm sorry, Ken?
I was just gonna say, and this is to approve an amount up to that for the sprinklers. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cost that total amount, correct?
Correct. We would still go out to bids and see what the,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll make a move.
Yeah, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Lisa. Roll call, please.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Humpkin.
Yes.
Next one should have been on here 10 years ago, but hasn't been. And that's the life, health, safety amendment for an elevator, CHS.
Better late than never, sir. Administration recommends that the board approve the health, life, safety amendment for a elevator, which would be for that wing, the short wing, as I like to call it. There's no ADA accessibility to the upstairs.
Questions, comments? Anybody like to make a motion to get an elevator?
I'll make that motion as well.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kelly. Roll call, please.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Humpkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer.
Yes.
All right, our last life, health, safety amendment is for CHS restroom accessibility.
Yeah, there's issues all over the place with bathroom and accessibilities. If you think of the 2 bathrooms we have in the commons area, we have handicap accessible stalls. But if you've ever thought about trying to get a wheelchair through that maze of privacy walls to get actually into those bathrooms, it's, you can't get to those accessible stalls. And so what we're saying is that we'd like the
Inaccessible
ADA.
accessibility.
What's that?
We have inaccessible accessibility.
Yes, and so what we would like to do is correct that 10 years ago, much like the elevator. And so administration recommends that the board approve the health, life, safety amendments for the restroom accessibilities at the high school.
Anyone want to talk more about restrooms? Questions, comments? Maybe like to make a motion to approve the life, health, safety amendment for the restroom accessibility.
I'll make that motion as well.
Thank you, Adam. Second?
I'll second.
Go ahead, Tyson. I'll give it to Tyson.
All right, Tyson got that one. All right, roll call, please.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Humpkin,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Greg Meyer.
Yes. All right, letter I is the approval of hiring for ancillary staff as needed for the 2024-25 school year.
And because we've moved the board meeting up, it's not going to be as crucial regarding the aides or the people that start on the first week of school. However, Kurt Steve tried very hard to get the interviews for HVAC done, but he was also trying to keep the HVAC working. And we've had a lot of projects. Like I said, he's been working out at Eagle View and he just is doing a great job. So really, we do this yearly. It's approval for hiring ancillary staff. At this point in time, that would be to get the HVAC guy started and maybe the custodian started as soon as those interviews are over.
So we're talking about one custodian, one HVAC guy?
Yeah, and then all the other names I can bring to you on the 8th. Because those would be the only 2 that would start probably beforehand.
I think I'd be more comfortable limiting it to specific positions.
And that's fine. HVAC and custodian. There's a high school custodian we need to fill and an HVAC position we need to fill.
Okay. Questions or ideas? Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the ancillary staff as needed?
I'll make the motion.
2 positions? Go with 2 positions?
Yep.
Okay. Lisa has a motion, second?
I'll second.
Kelly, thank you. Roll call, please.
Tyson Search,
Yes.
Adam Hemken,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Perfect. Letter J is approval for the second reading of the board policies, press issue 115.
Right, and these are the press policies that we've been reviewing the last couple of months. I will say that, turns out you guys do not need to approve, you approve the policy, but Amanda Gainey is now the report, we just have to change that administratively, the name from Alyssa Smith to Amanda Gainey, so you didn't need to do a first and second reading on that. So the name for the, I'm losing the word, the, if you have a complaint, Title IX for the complaints, you can go to Dr. Gainey or Mr. Reeves, depending on your comfort level. But that said, that's a separate issue. This is the second reading of the policies. I've had no questions, concerns, or comments regarding it. I did have one with about homeschool. The one that is homebound, that is not a homeschooler. Homebound is actually still our students, and they learn from homeschool.
This is home and hospital instruction,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That's why I read it.
But that was the only question I got, and I think I answered it. You asked me that. It's hard to remember. But administration recommends that the board approves the press policies, second reading as presented.
Okay. Any questions about that, comments, concerns? Hearing none, maybe you'd like to make a motion to approve the second reading of the board policy press issue 15.
So I will make the motion, along with highlighting the revisions that we are inserting into 6150, regarding any student on homebound instruction is not eligible to participate in or attend extracurricular activities, to be consistent with our handbook.
Thank you.
We have a motion on the floor, would I hear a second?
Second.
Can you get the wording to?
It's in here.
It's in there, okay.
It's just we're making a revision to the state's
Gotcha.
template.
Okay, we're combined ours. Okay. Gotcha. All right, roll call please.
Adam Hemken,
Yes.
Kelly Moyer,
Yes.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Surge.
Yes.
All right, that concludes our items for action. Our next agenda item is discussion items. We'll start off with our facility study. Walked us quite a bit through that on the slideshow with the
I've
website.
been doing a lot of sewer work.
Sewers are good.
Digging it up, closing it up, getting it in, driving it over. I also saw that they dropped rock and moved the recycling bins.
Oh, perfect.
So,
We had our first safety meeting last week, and we are gonna get some fencing installed to
yes.
make the site a little bit safer when we can. Right now, we're getting dump trucks in and out, so we're a little bit limited on where we can do, but the safety fencing is gonna work in the next probably week or two here, so.
And with the fences come more signage, office this way, parking that way.
Correct. Maybe anything you wanna add?
I did notice, and I think you also noticed, Chris, even with the torrential rains, the drainage worked fine, so that was a relief to see that, even though we added more solid surface up in the parking lot at the park.
Yeah, it was well tested, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a sufficient test, I would say, and it worked as designed, so very happy to see that.
And actually, our retention pond wasn't overtaxed whatsoever, so.
No.
Perfect. All right. Anything else regarding facilities? All right, individual board member comments?
I just have a question, just because some people have questioned me. They want to know if the upper parking lot that was completed, if we feel like there's going to be some issues with students coming in and out at the same time. Like if they're all the way at the end parking lots, because they didn't run it all the way through to like Veterans Parkway, are there going to be issues with kids, coming in, leaving?
Well,
I haven't driven up there
we
yet
actually
to see it
widened the road,
completed.
the approach road was one lane, and we actually widened it to 2 lanes all the way to the stop sign. And we added that other handicap parking there at our expense, so that was the idea, because several wanted to take it out to veterans, and that was kind of kibosh somehow.
The road is now 24 feet wide, so it is an actual two-way road. So it won't be any more of an issue than anyone else driving through the park on a daily basis. So it would have been previously because it was a bottleneck with insufficient width. The roadway was not wide enough for two-way traffic. But that was part of what we corrected as part of this project to make sure that you could have two-way traffic at any given time, so.
And Mr. Hempkin was out there with the tape measure to make sure there was 24 feet.
I keep meaning to drive up there since it's completed and.
Looks nice, it really does. I think the only thing left is letters, signing the parking spaces.
That should be done this week or next week.
Okay.
Numbering them?
Numbering them, yeah. Because that's happening with, Eagle View is getting sealed this year, and they had the numbering. I think the middle school portions of the middle school is getting done as well.
I saw Ameren was out there 2 weeks ago working on the lighting,
Yeah,
so that's, I believe that's now complete, right?
yeah,
Yes.
I think so. I've not been out there at night, so.
So, yeah, no, that parking lot should be ready to go. And we netted, even with the construction loss now, that's pretty much a net zero during construction for parking spaces, so
Yes.
there should be sufficient parking throughout the process. Limited drive lanes, but sufficient parking.
I will also say that the dirt that they're going to use to fill the front of the high school is being taken, a lot of it from behind the press box. And so there'll be a path up to the press box for ADA parking up there, and a future expansion plans of adding more parking when we can, but.
Yeah, so to kind of elaborate on that, so behind the press box right now is just grass, you can't get up to it. What we're planning to do in the initial step is just to create an improved opportunity to put a parking lot up there. There will be likely a gravel drive or something to get up there in the short term for a few handicap parking spots. But as the high school continues to grow, just as we are white boxing some of the space for classrooms that will be needed in the future but aren't today, there will be an opportunity for approximately 80 more, I believe, something in that range, parking spaces up there. So once our school population grows and we outgrow the 300 and something parking spaces we have now, we'll be able to get another 80 or so. And it will help with, events at the multi-purpose field, because people with mobility limitations will be able to sit at the top of the hill instead of watching through the fence or something from their current parking lot. So it'll help on a lot of fronts.
Right.
And it's saving us money because we don't have to truck in dirt.
That was the best part,
What, $17,000, I believe, was the savings.
ultimately.
Yes.
The net savings,
Cool, yeah.
and the gain functionality.
Right, exactly. The two birds, one stone, so. Perfect, all right. Any other member comments? No. Prerogative, I don't have anything. Again, welcome to Amanda. Great to have you with us. Executive session, I don't believe we have anything to say, sir. All right. Last item is a motion to adjourn. Would you like to make that motion? Wow, everybody at once. Wow.
Go ahead, Kelly, and take it.
Kelly got that one. Second.
I'll second.
Lisa, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? Perfect. That concludes our